You call me a saint, but you know I'm a stranger, all willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thing.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't on the fucking stream. Sorry, guys. I apologize. All right, start over. ES futures, not looking too bad here, actually. Yeah, I know. I do that sometimes, guys. This way this is set up, like I have to actually click to add myself to the stream. So I had the video on, but not me. Oops. So I apologize. All right, let's review this quick. So futures not too bad. Here was into the end of yesterday, right? And then futures really climbed right into the close. And then we had some sell-offs. But we got an oversold signal just a few hours ago, and now it's pumping up. What's going to happen here? I don't know. All my momentum indicators work best when they all agree. Okay, I love it. I will take positions when all my indicators agree. Like when they're all at the bottom, I love that. When it's like this, though, I mean, slow stow shows it's overbought. RSI is pretty neutral. You know, MACD crossover looks good, but then my DMI looks high. So it's confused right now, is what I consider it. What I'd like to see it, guys, is get through this. This is my daily breakout study. You can see that, so it'll hover around it sometimes because it's a resistance support, but it usually will make big moves off it when it happens. So here you can see it hit, it got denied and got pushed down hard, right? Here it hit it, got denied, pushed down hard. So this is my daily breakout study. Sometimes we'll float around it, but it usually, I mean, if it's hovering right around this, that's a support resistance. It's bears, bulls fighting, and then you get a big move. If it's just outside of it, you know, nothing kind of happens. It's just flat. Here we opened up right at it, and it took off. So we're opening, or we're sitting right. We're bouncing kind of all around it right now. So what happens here is going to kind of show what happens in the Friday, in my opinion. So that's what I'm watching for. Let's keep looking here. SPY. And I think they're doing a rebalancing next week. If any of you guys want to look at that, but rebalancing just means, so it used to be, right, Dow only has 30 companies in it, so I don't even really pay attention to the Dow, to be honest. NASDAQ used to be the tech-heavy index, but SPY, because of how everything is, it's gotten rather tech-heavy. It gets influenced a lot by tech, so I think they're doing a rebalancing next week. You know, guys, we're just really, I mean, put extended hours on, but we closed right here. Here we had a massive sell this morning, which that was probably the algos, right? I mean, turning on with the rates and everything. But that's fine. There's no volume there. I mean, it doesn't mean shit. There's no volume. Okay. I don't care about pre-market for the most part. Um, but here we are. We're opening right close to where it was at yesterday. So today, our daily breakout study on the SPY. So it opened up here yesterday. It's going to be right here again. It's going to open up right at the where it's at. So and I just showed you guys when it opens up around it, it can cause for big moves. Okay, so we're opening right at the SPY again, but does that mean it's going to go up? Not necessarily. So we see how sentiment is in the morning. Since we broke through these resistances, we still haven't really came down and touched for support. But the 9 just crossed the 20 like yesterday, so that's just getting picked up. That'll get picked up today. That shows the market that things are coming back. I think you'll see a lot of places taking positions again, so that's good. If you guys have questions, please feel free to throw them into the chat. I will answer them. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna start looking at some of your guys' stuff. What'll be interesting is if we see, so for next week, if SPY does rebalancing, I could see them trying to rebalance more into value stocks out of tech. That will be interesting, and that would be really good actually, because then we would have an index that showed us. Then we have the S&P 500 that would show us the health of value stocks. We have the NASDAQ that shows us the health of tech stocks. And I mean, I think that would be great, actually, instead of just having 2 tech-heavy indexes. GM. I think GM is going to be big this year. It's trading sideways kind of right now for the last couple days, right? Once again, I love my daily breakout studies. You can kind of start seeing trends of what something's going to do when it gets around it, right? So here it got a big move, and it's traded sideways the rest of that day and yesterday. But now my daily breakout study is going to open up right at it. Now that doesn't mean always good though, right? I mean, it could cause it to go the other way, but it is currently on an uptrend. So I see this as being positive and bullish. I like GM. Apple's going to follow the S&P pretty heavy, right? And I think the key this morning will be watching Tesla. Okay, if Tesla takes off, what will happen to all other tech? Pretty simple, guys. Guess all tech's going to rip. I completely agree with that. I think Tesla, real quick. Fuck, where's that? There it is. All right. So pre-market Tesla's down a little bit, but we do have a couple of supports right here. At the 650 and 665, it's at 678, and it just got denied off the 20, which is okay, because that means it's consolidating to try and get through those. If it can get through those, there's 2 supports or 2 resistances right here. It should be a decent move to try and get through those if it happens. Okay. Otherwise, if it can't, it might come back down and retest the 100 EMA. Once again, my daily breakout study is going to open up about right here. So we'll see. We see and then we see. But I'd like to see Tesla rip today. That would help with tech like Apple and everybody else. SNPR is a SPAC. Okay, it's going to be slow. I told you guys, but this is probably honestly about 2 months more out. The reason I bought this is because here they just announced. So they announced their DA on February 8th, but it takes about 3 months for a deal to complete once they announce. So March 8th, so 2 more months. Okay, I normally wouldn't have bought this for another month, because normally this trickle down, this effect right here where it just kind of drifts off, that usually lasts for 2 months, and it's not that the last month that it rips. So this probably won't really start moving for about another month. But I bought it because it's not going to go lower than this. I mean, that was like we caught the low of the low. I added a ton last Friday, but this thing is going to react slow. So if you don't, if you want to get out and you want something faster, I would sell on one of these pops. On one of these days where tech does really strong, it will pop just like all the other SPACs will. Just like yesterday, SPACs kind of bounced back yesterday, and I read a lot of articles. SPAC is back. I think that's very possible that we will start seeing money flow from value back to speculative. Okay. With that, though, we should get a pop out of this, but it's still going to be boring because it has 2 months till merger. SPY, let's just SPY. PLTR. So this is bouncing back really hard, right? This is speculative. You can see it when the market went bad. Speculative always gets hurt the worst, guys. So some of the shit we're in, some of the stuff we do, because when it bounces back, it comes back the fastest. It's volatile. It's good for us as options traders. However, when the market turns, you got to be much more conscious of what you're doing because it falls hard. Now, like I said, but with speculative coming back, I think these are great long-term plays right now. I think if you're in like anything from a 1 to 2 month out swing to a third, fourth quarter leap, I think this will pay out all summer. What I see happening with the market is us being green for the next 3 to 6 months. I think third to fourth quarter is going to be rough. Okay, but we're going to make a lot of money this year when the market turns, and I do think it's going to turn towards the end of the year. But we will make bank. Market always pays out faster on downclines than it does inclines. Now, the reason we didn't do so well here the last couple weeks is because that was just a slow pullback bleed off. When the market actually turns, we will make money like you guys have never seen before. It's going to be amazing. Okay, Apple just did CTRM. It's a penny stock. You know anything about it? I do not. I'll pull it up here real quick, but it's hard to chart penny stocks, guys. And don't be wrong. Do they kind of follow? Sure. I mean, look, it took off, but it takes off for no reason because of like just momentum, right? But then it came down, hit support, came down, hit support, failed, came down, got a bounce, and now it's supporting right along the 9 to 20. So it isn't like it's not chart. It's not like it doesn't follow charts. The problem is you don't know. So when it tanks, you can tell where it's going to kind of stop at and consolidate. But is this going to rip again? It just depends if it gets pumped again. I can't predict what direction this is going from here. I mean, it's sitting on support, but I can't safely say that it's going to hold or not because it requires momentum to do so. IPOE. I love this stock. I'm loaded up in it. I've got 65 contracts. Especially because I just told you guys, right? But their DA was February 1st. No, it must have been. It was January. This is their DA right here. It was January 8th. Okay. Now they got some pump on the initial news, but normally, like I said, this would drift back down. It took an extra hard dump right here. I loaded up on this last Friday. So this is expected to merge at the end of this month or early April. So over the next 30 days, we should fully see this start to come back towards previous highs. I really like IPOE right now. I'm loaded up heavy in it. Yeah, very bullish on that. And we do have a leap going on it as well. But IPOE is buying SoFi, one of the largest private payment processors. I am going to start. I'm going to add a SPAC page into the new Discord I'm building for the group. But I love SPACs. The thing this year is, though, there's already been more SPAC money filed this year than there was all of last year. So what's going to really become is you have to buy SPACs of value. We can't keep buying this like QuantumScape that's not going to have anything for the next 5 years. That's just not going to work anymore because there's too many. It's getting flooded. Not all of these can make money. What's going to happen is you're going to have to buy SPACs of value. IPOE is one of those. They're buying SoFi, very profitable, making money, right? SNPR is a well-functioning SPAC. They're buying an EV charging company. TDAC, very profitable, buying lottery.com. Okay, I mean, and that one's a big one. They have no pipe shares, so they will have no pipe sell off. I really like TDAC. TDAC's a big one. SNPR also. Man, there was some massive volume on it. Big buyers, a lot of shares. It's going to be a good one. Okay, G did bingo, BNGO. Oops, sorry. BNGO. Okay, looks like a biotech. This is looking okay, but it's low cost, hurt really bad. This is really speculative also. I mean, obviously it hurt real bad in the last pullback. I mean, fell from 15 down to 5, right? Fell 66%, 70%. It's a big fall. Now it is recovering and holding. If speculative money comes back and biotechs stay hot, which I do think biotechs are going to start rotating out, guys. I mean, vaccines out there. This is like a couple years ago when the first Bitcoin run up, right? Remember how everything would add the word blockchain into there, and everything blockchain was trading really hot. Right now, it's biotechs are trading really hot, but that is going to phase out, especially as the virus goes away. I'm not saying it's going to be immediately. I just think it's going to phase out. It's going to start not being so hot anymore. Okay. Zoom. Oh, yeah, I'll say Rocket first. Rocket's fine. Guys, Rocket kind of WSB pump thing-ish. I don't know what's going to happen with this. Rocket does not normally move. Okay. These are pumps. So this was back the one. This is the back with the last GME pump. This is with the current one. What happens from here? I don't know. Hard to say, guys. Yeah, I just don't know. It just depends if it gets volume and pumped again. Let's talk about zoom. All right, guys. So I took a position on this yesterday. Went up 50% in like the first couple hours. That's okay though, because I am looking for bigger moves. You could take a profit on this yesterday. That would have been fine. But we are sitting around the 200 EMA. I love 200 EMA recoveries. That's what I took it for. This was an over-exaggerated sell-off below the 200 EMA. Now it's coming back up. So now it's going to want to start taking over other EMAs. Next move up I have is it'll have some resistance right in this area, but really not up until here. And then I'd like to see it come up. It'll catch resistance right in here somewhere, pull back and touch again, and rip up. I'll probably take profits on those next week and roll them into the following week. I will post, but feel free, guys. If you see a pop, if something goes up 50%, I have different account sizes than you guys do. If this doesn't work, I'm not dead in the water. I was up. I mean, I was up 13.5 yesterday, 13,500 yesterday, and I'm pretty well protected. I'm not even in a lot of the. You could have had a day like Craig where he gets really, really into speculative stuff and have a $100,000 day. I'm more protected than Craig is, so I didn't have the gains that he did, but I'm okay with that. That's the way I play. MG or Go EV. Yeah, that one. But anyways, Zoom. I'll post on this. But I think as tech comes back into next week, I think these are all going to rip. I think Zoom's going to come back. MGM. Go EV first. Canoe. I don't know. There's a lot of EV companies out there. I'm not sure I really like Canoe, to be honest. They have that. They're trying to get into things, right? But do you guys see that weird truck they just put out? I don't know. I look at practicalities. I think Lucid's got a better chance than Canoe does. But we see and then we see. I don't know. I'd have to look more into Canoe. I kind of stay away from Canoe just because I didn't like the way their stuff looks. I think look at when they're going to start producing vehicles. That'll be a big thing too. Are they going to be profitable here in the near future? Like I said, that Canoe was a recent SPAC. SPACs tend to not do so hot after they merge for a while because they get stuck in that SPAC shadow. It would really just depend on how soon they're going to be producing vehicles, and if it's going to be, there's a lot of EVs coming out that are ready to start releasing cars this year. Rivian, and they're going to be doing an IPO. I will be into Rivian hard probably. You got Lucid Motors. You got, and then you got the Cadillacs, the Mustangs, the Hummers, all coming out with their EVs. So is Canoo going to be a real competitor is the question. Here we're sitting, MGM looks good. We had a little pullback yesterday, but we're sitting right on support. You can see how it had previous resistance right here, and now it is sitting on those for support. I'd like to see it hold that. If it doesn't hold that, it'll probably come down and touch the 9 EMA, but with everything reopening, I think MGM is still a good call. I took those LVS plays that Craig posted yesterday because I think those are going to be hot coming up into the next month or two. Are you still in the FTX option? I absolutely am. I will be into that up until next week. I am playing that to earnings or close up to earnings. I think that's going to be hot. SNDL. This is Sundial, guys. I don't know. It had been pumped. It's a dollar stock. Craig took a position on this, I think, because he thinks it's gonna get pumped, and maybe it's an earnings play. It's got earnings next week. WSB kind of ruined that here back end of February. Now we're in March. It is coming back, and it's sitting right here. I mean, actually, it looks like it's good to go, but once again, this is a stock that gets massive volume when it moves. So it's sitting right here. Is it really going to move? I don't know. Okay, so it just depends. Sundial's debt free now. That's good. That really is good. I mean, like I said, I had long-term holds on Sundial. I had we bought those leaps back when it was back here. Craig and I did. We posted them. We took them. Oh, it was way before the first pump. I'm sorry. It was way back here. We bought them back in. Oh no, it wasn't that far back. I apologize. It was back here. It was right here. We bought them back here before it even pumped, and then WSB kind of ruined this for me. I mean, I didn't expect it to go up like this, and then they crashed it in a single freaking day almost. I took my profits and left. I don't like WSB. They're annoying the fuck out of me. They ruin stuff. Work. All right. Work is looking like it's getting a good comeback. Okay. It'd be important right now for me to see this. I wouldn't want to see it break 40. I wouldn't want to see it break, I'll say 40, 85, 40, 75, somewhere in there. That'll be support. I would like to, I mean, it could break a little bit and come back, but what you'd really like to see is, I would like to see this 50 EMA hold on this. That over-exaggerated sell-off into the end of the day, into last night, whatever, and then this morning has it down. But what happens from here, there will be, it's going to have that resistance right at the 50 EMA. It needs to get through that, and it needs to stay above, say, 40. I don't know, even higher than that, 40, 50. I wouldn't want to see it drop below here because that's the next support area. All right. Anything else you guys want to see before we go? Now let's look at the SPY one more time just to see what we're predicting here for this morning. Predictions for today. So see here just now. Look, guys, when we first started chatting, it was right here. Told you we got oversold, right? So now we've come up, we've touched my breakout study, and it got rejected. So what's going to happen here now, though, is the trend line is my smooth Heikin-Ashi candles, right? The trend line is still kind of coming up a little bit. This is going to cause a pinch. And which way it goes is still undetermined, but it's going to probably make a big move here. So do we go green? Do we go red? That's what we'll be watching for this morning. What I could see happening. I think that we'll go, man, I don't know, going green into the weekend. I would like to see that. But is it going to happen? I'm not 100%. I'd like to see it open red this morning and then just fight all day to get back to, and then go green just like we had last Friday, right? Last Friday, we had so here's last Friday, it opened. We tanked down real hard, we took profits, but then with the prospects of things going, turning around, it rocketed. I'd like to see that again this morning. I'd like to see some people take profits and hit maybe off of these EMAs, and then just power through and rock it up. Buying opportunities and strong into the weekend. Netflix. So I'll keep you guys posted on the SPY today, kind of what's looking like. I did buy those puts yesterday. I'll watch right at open. So keep an eye out, because I'll post what I do, but by the time I post, it could be moving already. So if the SPY starts to go green, I'm going to take profits on those, because I bought 384 puts yesterday, and we're in the money today. So I'll be selling those out this morning. Netflix is looking good. I would have liked to. I mean, there's a lot of resistance right here, which this is looking like it's going to come. This is going to get a big move. This is getting a big EMA squeeze. You can kind of see last time it got an EMA squeeze where it failed, it moved pretty hard, and now we're getting closer to that point where it's going to get another EMA squeeze. I don't know if it'll be like this week or next week. Probably not this week, but next week. I could imagine at some point here in the next week or two, this is going to be a big move. That leap that King called the other day is looking like it's going to be very profitable here in not too long. So, all right, guys, play safe, play smart. If you have any questions, please DM me. I'm always around. I do miss the chat sometimes, but I'm always on my computer. I'm watching charts and stuff. So if you really want my attention, it's probably best to DM me, because I get dings on those. But yeah, I'll be around. Good luck, everybody. Play smart, play safe, and we'll see you in the room.
You call me a saint, but you know I'm a saint.
Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling.